everybody, welcome back to my channel. That's right, I homeschool. I'm Mrs. T, and today we're doing part 2 of our May and June reading wrap-up, homeschool edition. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I'll go ahead and link it down below. That is where we kind of go through the read-alouds that we've done and our audiobooks that we finished as a family. And in today's video, we're going to go over all of the new picture books that we experienced. So I do track on Goodreads all of the brand new picture books that we read. I don't track how many times we read them, and I don't track how many books we have revisited from previous reads. So we definitely have read a lot, but this month we had the last 2 months have been probably the most new books that we have had. My preschooler, I don't know, he hit this stride where it was really hard to rein him in on getting books from the library. So we usually have 1 or 2 of those reusable grocery bags, and he fills them up. And toddler definitely also fills them up with us, and I get my workout. We go to the library about once a week, so we have experienced a lot of new literature, some that we really liked, some that was okay, but I'm glad we experienced it, and others that just blew my mind with how it was I don't know, not okay some of the messages were. But it was a really good, though, overall a very good reading 2 months. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share with you some of the books that we really enjoyed, and then I'm going to tell you about 3 books that are very popular in mainstream, and I want to share with you why I find them to be a little problematic and why I didn't care for them. And then if you are interested in seeing all of the new books that we've read, I did also record myself reading through Goodreads, so you can actually see as I scroll through all of the titles, the author, and our rating out of 5 stars. So that should give you a little bit of insight as well if you want to, or if you're looking for some other suggestions that I didn't talk about here. All right, so let's just go ahead in with some of our 5-star ratings. Wow, we had a lot of good ones. So let me just start with one that my toddler actually picked up. He picked it up, and I don't think he understood what it was about, but it became one of our favorites, and actually I want to end up buying it. It's called Naked, and it is about a little boy who is getting ready for his bath and bedtime, and he's running around naked, and he's just hard to control, which is very relatable. The mom in the picture book starts all put together, and by the end her hair is everywhere. She looks clearly exhausted, and it's a really fun book to read as a family. Another book that we really enjoyed had to do with dinosaurs. My preschooler for quite a while now has been very into dinosaurs, and he often picks nonfiction dinosaur books from the library. And he found this Usborne one called Dinosaurs. But what made this book really unique is it's a shine a light kind of book. So what you do is you get a flashlight, and you are able to reveal secrets that are on the page. Preschooler and my toddler really liked it, and it was actually, we had to read it multiple times back to back so that they both got a good number of turns of using the flashlight. Another dinosaur book that we like is actually part of a series. We got a lot of these books out from the library. It's called Epic World of Dinosaurs, and basically, I'll put one picture up here, maybe the T-Rex one, that was a favorite. But basically you get a dinosaur that you're focusing on for the whole book. And it tells a little bit about the dinosaur, what their diet was like. It shows how big they are on a scale that compares the dinosaur to a car, an average human, and a turkey. So you can kind of get an idea of how tall some of these dinosaurs were and also how small some of them were. It was very interesting. We really enjoyed those ones, and we'll be for sure picking up more from the library in that series. Okay, the next one that we got was not from the library. We got it from the Imagination Library for my preschooler. It's called Solitary Animals. This one was really cool, you guys. It basically shows you different animal groups and what they're called. So it'd be this is a herd, this is a flock, etc., etc. But then it asks you questions like, what is a group of sloths called? Nothing, because sloths are solitary animals. They prefer to be alone. And so you kind of compare groups of animals versus these solitary animals. And it's actually a really cool book. It's very informative. And I learned a lot. We learned a lot. Okay. Ooh, the next one. We loved the next one. This we got from the library as well. It is called What to Do with a Stick. Basically, it tells the story of a little boy who finds a stick, but a stick is never just a stick. It's all about how a stick can be a sword, it can be a bow and arrow, it can be a magic wand, a broom to ride, it could be an instrument, it could be so many different things. And it basically just tells the story of this little boy using his imagination and doing a bunch of different things with a single stick. We enjoyed it, the pictures were sweet, and yeah, we'll probably end up picking up that one from the library again. Okay, so the other one that we had that we really enjoyed is part of a book series that we have one of the books at home. But the new book was called, well, new to us, not new. It's called Hey, That's My Monster. If you haven't read this monster series, I highly recommend picking it up from the library. They're adorable. It's basically about a little boy named Ethan who is not falling asleep. And so monsters come to try to get him to go to bed. And it's kind of like he gets scared, but he clearly enjoys being scared. Like, it's very cute. And this book that we were reading about is about his sister Emma, who's getting her monster. Some people enjoy being scared. And this really was a really good representation. Like, it's not a scary monster book at all. It was very cute. Okay, and then the last one that I just want to mention is one that we got through, I think we got through Thrift Books. This is called What If? And it basically tells the story of a little girl who's thinking about all the stories that she tells and writes down on paper. And she says, like, what if the pens disappear or crayons? And she's like, that's okay, I can fold the paper and still tell a story. What if the paper disappears? That's okay, I can carve it into wood. And she basically goes through, like, what if all of these resources are pulled for me? At the end of it, when it's just her and her mind, she still has stories to tell, and you cannot, break someone's imagination. It was really cool. I really liked that book. Okay, now let's go ahead and just briefly review 3 books that are very popular that I just really did not like. And you might have differing opinions, and that is okay. This is just my own personal thought on these books. So the first book that we read is called Pig the Pug. Now this book is so popular. It basically tells the story of this little pug named Pig who's very selfish. He doesn't want to share his toys with another dog, and he hoards them all into a big pile near a window. And he falls out of the window while he's being selfish. And the book ends with the dog who wanted to play with his toys, playing with the toys, and the pug is clearly not happy with it and is in a full body cast. To me, it was just like, okay. It was so, I don't know, the pug didn't learn anything, first of all. Second of all, he's only sharing because he's forced to. And third of all, it was just like, for like a preschooler, maybe this is better for like older kids, but reading it as a preschooling mom, it's like, this is not the message I want to share. So basically, how I think this book could be improved is it would have been better if, same elements, pug is piling up all these things. We'll say the dog who wants him to share starts to trip, and the pug leaves his toys to save the other dog from falling out of the window and ends up letting him play. And he realizes that there are more important things out there than hoarding your toys and keeping them to yourself. It's being with people, it's helping people, and then he shares. Wouldn't that have been much better? Definitely more wholesome, I think. Okay, book number 2 that I really found problematic was Little Miss Spider. Again, this is one that's really popular, and there are elements of this book that I really enjoy. This does highlight the positive side of adoption, but basically it tells the story of this little spider who wakes up around all her brothers and her sisters, but she can't find her mom. So she leaves her home and she goes on a hunt to find her mom. She is found by a beetle, and the beetle is basically working with her. Long story short, little spider gets tricked, beetle saves her, and decides to adopt her. And the message here is that I don't remember the exact words, but it says something along the lines of like the creature who loves you most, or something like that, is your mother. Okay, here's my problem. If Little Miss Spider woke up and didn't know where her house was, that would be a different story, right? Because she would truly be alone, but she knows where her house is. She knows where all her siblings are. She might not know where mom is, but mom is clearly gonna be there where all the kids are. Number one. Number two, Miss Betty Beetle, or Betsy Beetle, whatever her name was, didn't really try very hard in reuniting this child with her mom. And again, like, her adopting Little Miss Spider was really good. I really liked that message, but I don't know, you guys. Also, another character tricks Little Miss Spider into climbing into a bird's nest and endangers her. And like, I don't know. I definitely have read some other adoption books that I found to be a little bit more my speed. I can definitely see why this book is popular, but I was a little bit disappointed in it. Okay, now here's the one, my final book that I was not really keen on is Curious George. Now, wait for it. Let me explain why. We read the very first original Curious George. This tells the story of a little monkey named George who's happy and living in Africa. The man with the yellow hat, who is later portrayed in books as being his friend, has a gun and captures him unwillingly. Puts him on a boat in a sack. George is crying to take him back to the United States to put into a zoo. Meanwhile, they arrive back in the United States. George gets into trouble. He accidentally calls the fire department, and the fire department puts him in prison. He is sad, he's lonely, but he manages to escape prison, only to be rescued by the man in the yellow hat again and then put into the zoo. Now, later Curious George books, we know that Curious George and the man in the yellow hat are actually friends and they do other things, but this first book was really, was really problematic for me. The way that this could have been, in my mind, improved to be a little bit more appropriate for, preschool level is, Curious George is naturally curious. So it would have made more sense if the man in the yellow hat was there in Africa and Curious George saw him, saw his bag, was curious, hopped into his bag, ended up on the boat. Oh no! And now he's in New York. I don't know, that would have been a little bit less, depressing than a little monkey who's sad that he was taken from his home. But anyway, you guys, that is it. I'm going to go ahead now and start the video, my recording, where I go over all of the books. I list them that I read with my kids. But that is it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button as well. Let me know what you guys think. Did you read any of those popular books? Do you have different opinions? Please share them with me. Again, these were my opinions. I'm very curious to hear what you say. Maybe you can change my mind. All right, thank you everyone, and let's get into the next part.
Dragon in the cupboard. Hey, that's my monster. Kitten's first full moon. Iguanodon. Madeline's rescue. I want my hat back. I spy under the sea. Pig the pug. Winnie the Pooh's colors. Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. The lion and the mouse. Flotsam. Oh bother, someone's fighting. Dinosaur. Diplodocus. This is not my hat. Little Miss Spider. Barnum's Bones. There's a witch in your book. Dinosaurs. There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey. You are a story. Don't let the pigeon drive the bus. Caps for sale. Everybody. Under the Sea. Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. Horton hears a who. Here comes Ocean. The City Tree. The Story of Ferdinand. Oh, the places you'll go. Curious George, Snowflake Bentley. What if? My forest is green. Do you like cats? The Seasons of Arnold's Apple Tree. Library Lion. The Runaway Bunny. Blueberries for Sal. Make way for ducklings. The monster at the end of this book. Branch line engines. Oh bother, no one's listening. There was an old lady who swallowed a dragon. I love you like a pig. Everything in its place. Marlowe and the Dinosaurs. The highest mountain of books in the world. Pearl and Wagner. Boats, boats, boats. The Love Letter. Clifford's Manners. Panda bear, what do you see? A fish out of water. I like my car. Love. The Tall Man and the Small Mouse. Cuddle up, good night. This way, Charlie. Matilda makes matzo balls. On the Moon. The Last King of Angkor Wat. Ida Always. Some dinosaurs are small. Ankylosaurus. Oviraptor. Velociraptor. Brachiosaurus. Allosaurus. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Little Bear. Eat your superpowers. Dino Zombies. The Rainforest. Once there was. Rainforest Colors. Where the forest meets the sea. The Umbrella. Night animals need sleep too. Never ask a dinosaur to dinner. Superhero Gran. Soon. The dinosaurs are back and it's all your fault, Edward. Will we always hold hands? Old MacDonald had a truck. Old MacDonald had a farm. I just want to be super. Dino Snores. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Follow the track all the way back. Dinosaur Rumpus. Once upon a jungle. Over and under the rainforest. Dino Duckling. Uno's Garden. Tap, 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 dance, dance, dance. There was an old lady who swallowed the ABCs. I Spy on the Farm. Bathroom Boogie. Truckery Rhymes. How to Grow a Dinosaur. Dinosaurs. Find Me. I Spy Mystery. Friends help each other. The oboe goes boom, boom, boom. A cape. By the light of the moon. Ankylosaur attack. Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Edna, the very first chicken. You are new. What to do with a stick. The Bad Seed. P is for potty. Richard Scarry's Busy, Busy World. Snow Day for Groot. Potty. The Berenstain Bears cook it. Breakfast for Mama. Zookeeper Sleepers. The Berenstain Bears fly it. Up, up, and away. The Berenstain Bears at the Super Duper Market. Up, down, and around. You matter. I am not a fish. Madeline's Seasons. The Three Little Super Pigs. One Day. Dino Pets. You are a raccoon. To change a planet. The Potty Book for Boys. 10 Little Caterpillars. Night Night Groot. First Day of Groot. Someday Maybe. Otter, I Love Books. The Twin Engines. The Little Old Engine. Duck and the Diesel Engine. My First 100 Animals and Birds. Tadpole to Frog. Life. Quit calling me a monster. We're all wonders. I like myself. 8 famous engines. Percy, the small engine. Four Little Engines. Richard Scarry's Cars and Trucks and Things That Go. Atlas of Dinosaur Adventures. 5-Minute Spider-Man Stories. Something Wild. 9 Kilometers. Edward the Blue Engine. Gordon the Big Engine. Toby the Tram Engine. Henry the Green Engine. Troublesome Engines. Tank Engine Thomas again. James the Red Engine. Thomas the Tank Engine. Best Read It Yourself book ever. Bear Came Along. ABC French. Boo. Hare. Lovely Day. Hello World, How Do Apples Grow? Miss Spider's Tea Party. Where is the Green Sheep? Flap Your Wings. See, Touch, Feel, ABC. The Monster Who Lost His Mane. Daddy's Hugs and Snuggles. Franklin Rides a Bike. A House for Little Red. Go to Sleep, Dear Dragon. Bennett Cerf's Book of Riddles. The Best Nest. Whoever You Are. The Many Colors of Harpreet Singh. The 12 Days of Christmas Dogs. Negative Cat. Jungle Night. Such a Little Mouse. Little Blue Truck Makes a Friend. Sam and the Firefly. Solitary Animals. Happy Birthday, Dear Dragon. Clifford's Puppy Days. Here We Are. Old MacDonald Had a Farm. The Way Champs Play. How to Read a Book. Oh So Brave Dragon. Dino Bites. Good night, Little Blue Truck. Finding Grandma's Memories. I Will Chomp You. Santa's Moose. The Very Last Castle. Clifford's Spring Cleanup. Naked and Cattail.